As a Titan fan.
Yo, what's up? It's the Sick Podcast, Anvil Show. Tonight we have a great episode. It's going to be a co-episode, so I'm going to kick it to my boy Sal. What's going on, boy?
What's up? It's Sal and Jarett from the Sick Podcast, Talking Titans. Happy to do this with y'all. Let's not waste any time. Sammy, start me up, baby.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. It's gonna be sick.
What is going on, everyone? This is a very special Sick Podcast show tonight. We're dueling it out. We got a division rival. Huge game for both sides. But let's jump right into it. So, Clyde, I'll let you have the floor. What are your thoughts on the current state of the Colts, A, and B? What do you think your keys to victory are going to be for us coming into this game at Indy?
Well, as you pointed out last time we got to talk, we haven't done well when the damn Titans either fucking come to Indy or we go down there. So, honestly, the keys to victory, like always, got to stop 22, right? We know, I mean, he started off slow, but he seemingly woke up last week. Seemed like your team played a lot better last week, 27-3 over the Bengals. So congrats on that. But starts with 22, stop him, and we have not seen D-Hop talking about the Colts in a Titans uniform, so that'll be new for us. So hopefully he doesn't, get his first real big game against us, because our cornerbacks are kind of iffy at the moment, especially losing Dallas Flowers. But ultimately, the state of the team, though, man, like I'm pretty happy with where we are. I have mixed emotions about the Jonathan Taylor presser today. He's definitely on the team, but is he with the team? I have my thoughts about that. But I am interested to see. I don't even know if he'll play this week, but I'm interested to see the dynamic of this offense with an elite running back next to AR. But Anthony Richardson, I mean, he's getting a lot of positives to what he's doing, but then people are still talking about him because completion percentage last week was wild and all these other stats that people want to throw out. But the kid is electric. I mean, he came back 23-0 against a very experienced defense and quarterback in Matthew Stafford and the Rams as a whole. So he's shown he can play in a big league. So I'm pretty excited for this team as a whole. But it's a long season.
Yeah, it's definitely a long season, and like for the keys for victory for us, it starts with 17 behind the backfield. I know Sal is not a big fan of 17, but I'm at 40% with him because we want to see the young guns, in this offense. But it does start with him. He is 6-1 against you guys in his last 7 games. I did a little stats on our Tuesday night show. King Henry he owns you guys too as well. He has I think 600-yard rushing yards, 600-yard rushing games against you guys in the last 7 games. So, but he is a key to victory. But you know what? Tajay Spears, man, I was on the way home. I had like a sign for me. I seen 32 as a sign, as a mile marker. I think he's going to go off, and I think he's going to score a touchdown. I think he's going to have the most electrifying game this week. So I think he's going to have a big game for us. So for you guys on defense, because we really don't know much about you guys on defense yet. How would you guys attack us and Derrick Henry, with our weak offensive line?
Trench boys up top. You take this because shit.
Well, first of all, I don't know where you got your stats, but in the last 14 years, I got my stats.
Let's hear it. I'm talking 7 games. I'm not talking 14.
I'm talking all 14.
I'm not talking Peyton Manning years. Oh, okay.
1,287 yards.
Yes, and
that's
7 touchdowns.
That's an average of
120.
91.9
yes, but
yards.
7 games I'm talking. I rattled off here 149, 103, 113, 178, 68, 114, and 128. That's an average of 120. He has ownership. The ownership of the Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry would have little horseshoes on his helmet for every time he owns it.
Not little, like Pee Wee football?
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Oh my God.
In his last 7 games.
I was ready for this because you cherry picked last time we talked, Sal. So,
I didn't cherry pick a damn thing.
For the first 3 years, Derrick Henry was in the league. I got the stats for Jonathan Taylor the first 3 years combined. Take those first 3 years of those 2 running backs.
Oh God!
Give me those
trenches, the
Okay,
trenches, man.
but he had DeMarco Murray too with him in that offense. But if you want to go to Jonathan Taylor real quick, Jonathan Taylor, his career stats against the Tennessee Titans,
his mama said
246 yards. He had 12 yards, 64 yards, 70 yards, 42, and 58. He has yet to eclipse 100 yards against the Titans, and he's not going to do it. Even if he does,
you're 100% right on that. I think Jonathan's average against you guys is like 71, 72 yards, something like that.
No, he's never even went over 70 yards.
It's like, yeah, it's like 40. Yeah, I was gonna say 45. Pat, we're losing this battle. Listen, man, we're
not losing. He's cherry picking.
Okay, why don't you tell us about what Johnny Unitas did? Okay. Tell us about what Johnny Unitas did. Johnny Unitas against the Oilers in 1963. How about we bring those stats up too?
I think I've actually been to a couple of those damn games.
That's a Baltimore team anyways.
All right, Pat, listen. This is where this is bad for us, right? We live. It's bad because I'll ask you two up top. Let's see how well we're on the same team. Who's the last quarterback to beat the Titans? I know this, but you tell me. You two up top.
Andrew Luck.
No. Okay, Phillip Rivers.
No.
2019.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why he said they're 6-1 the last 7 or however
7 games.
Yeah, we haven't beat them in forever. So I don't want to hear about Jonathan Taylor. We can't stop Derrick Henry. We know this. So trenches, how the hell do we stop them? Go. Damn. Why are you arguing shit that we can't win?
The real one.
Look, you get me confused because I'm not taking anything away from Henry. I'm taking it away from you because you cherry pick these stats to make him look bigger and better than what he is. He's already a mountain of a friggin' man.
Okay,
why
so
you gotta blow him up even more?
I don't understand. Cherry pick what? Are you trying to say that you still think Jonathan Taylor's a better running back than Derrick Henry?
I do. I do.
Oh my! So I guess Jonathan Taylor is on the fast track to Hall of Fame.
Well, and not until he gets back on the damn field.
Okay, and when he does get back on the field, how many Pro Bowl years is he going to have to make the Super Bowl? He's had what, 1 or 2, or 1?
2.
Yeah, he had 2. He's
had 2, and then last year he was hurt, only had 8 games under his belt, and he still almost hit 900 yards.
He's top 5 in the league, healthy.
Yeah, no doubt.
Nothing. Definitely not taking that away from him.
Yeah, top 5. Easy.
What's Henry averaging now in yardage?
This year? Not sure. I can't put Stat Genius doesn't have that one right now. But
I'll tell you what it is.
It's just so
bad. Go ahead. It's
not great. Shit. But that's because our quarterback's been a hot pile of shit for the last 3 weeks.
It has, but you know what we do? We have never had a compliment back like we do now with Tajay Spears. That's why I said I think you're going to have your dose of Derrick Henry, and you're going to feel it on Sunday. But you're also going to have
Spears has better stats. We have this year.
That's fine because you know what? We have the modern day smash and dash now. It used to be Lendell White, Chris Johnson. Now it's Derrick Henry and Tajay Spears. Because that kid, when he touches the ball, he is electric.
That's a little stretch now. Wait a minute.
No.
Those were scary hours.
Talk to me on Monday because Tajay Spears coming out game is coming this week.
Well, wait a minute. I don't know about that one, man. I'm with you when you right, but I'm like I'm thinking about Lindell and Chris Johnson, and that was scary hours, bro. Like
those were scary. Those guys were
I do have a genuine question for the three of you though, and nobody seems to be able to answer it yet. I'm curious as to why the Colts decided to bench the best quarterback on the team currently, Gardner Minshew, in order to get a still unready, it appears, Anthony Richardson back on the field. When I saw Gardner Minshew play 2 weeks ago, I was like, this is the guy who's ready to play right now.
I think it's too.
And this is the reason you do a podcast and you're not a GM.
I'm just
process.
I think it's twofold.
If you know football, there's no way in hell you actually honestly believe Gardner Minshew is better than Anthony Richardson.
Not that he's better. He's saying that he was more ready to play. Pat, cue in. But what I'm saying is you can't bench a man when he's hurt. That's unfair. So when it's unfair, you take the morale of the squad, right? Secondly, though, you also think about what Anthony was doing on the field before the injury. So, he got concussed, right? But he had 2 touchdowns on the ground. So it wasn't as if he like poor play, I think drives that, and then it's super early in the season to have a quarterback controversy based stemming from an injury and a player who had just scored 2 touchdowns and had an unfortunate fall. So that would be that's a weird place to put a rookie. And I don't think you can rattle him, but even still, like he'd be like, well, what the hell did I really do wrong to lose my job? Even though but Gardner did what he's supposed to, right? Your backup quarterback.
I said. No, I'm sorry. Good.
I was going to say, I think to answer your question, we mentioned it on the podcast quite a bit. In order for this very talented quarterback, our next generational quarterback, to get done what he needs to get done, he needs to have repetition. Repetition. That's the biggest thing on a football field. If you ever played football, repetition is the biggest key to getting better. And that's why I believe that right now he's not sitting behind Gardner, even though Gardner is a more experienced quarterback at this point. But this is Anthony's team. Shane said it. Gardner said it. I think even Chris, hinted at it. Chris Ballard. This is his team. This is our quarterback. We got to give him the repetitions. We got to get him to see these defenses live, and hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, that was honestly for everyone in the chat having a conniption. That was like a 75% joke. Okay, so everyone can relax. All right, the Jaden. Take a chill pill, bud. Wasn't really serious.
Jaden. See, I can't see the chat. So
here's the only thing. Here's the one thing I will say, which I've been saying for a couple of years now, is I think that Gardner Minshew is one of, if not the most underrated quarterbacks in the NFL. If you look at what he did with the Jaguars, he had really good stats. He just had an absolutely miserable team around him. And although statistically he didn't have the most excellent game on paper against the Ravens, he made a lot of big-time throws and big-time moments. Oh, yeah. I would like to see him maybe next year get a shot somewhere else because I think he deserves one more shot. Obviously, I said the last time we were on that Richardson's the probably the scariest potential of anyone coming out as a quarterback.
Potential, like I said, I seen a lot of him in Florida. Being a Florida State fan, he was 6-7 as a starter. He was so raw. His potential and his athletic ability is through the roof. But can he prove that every week against an NFL defense? That's the big thing with these guys. Even Malik Willis and Will Levis, same thing with me. I'm iffy with these guys. Sal loves them because he hates Tannehill and he wants to see the future. So do I.
I don't hate Tannehill.
All right. Everybody knows that you're not in on it.
I've seen it.
Yeah. So, I mean, we all seen it firsthand at my house when we were all together this week too. But listen, everyone falls in love with the prototype. The guy can throw 70 yards on a spiral. Okay. Can he elude pressure and can he get the ball to his receivers? That's the thing. So with these rookie quarterbacks throwing him under the fire, I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. So, I mean,
this is my thing too. Like, so you take any I guess a game ready, draft ready quarterback, right? You take the Andrew Lucks or whoever you want to say. Take Caleb Williams next year. Like he's ready to play. Fine. But the one thing that I feel like you're always gonna have to like deal with in a guy like that is going to be around a shitty team that's probably can't block, and you might have limited weapons. And so for all the talent, I mean, you take Trevor Lawrence, he was the guy in his first year one was a real wreck. Last year, he kind of was like, all right, I've arrived. He had a little bit more help, and he got even more help this year. So ultimately, you have that situation, and it's going to water down what this guy can do because it's just the team is terrible, like you said. But you take Anthony Richardson, I'm not saying he would do super great, but he's going to extend plays. He's look at the touchdown game. Mo Alley, he just throws some shit out there, gets his foot stepped on, comes a touchdown. Like we haven't ever had that in Indy. So yeah, we're crazy excited because we've seen guys like Lamar Jackson constantly every year, like just be better than us because they can make the play. We got a fucking statue, like the damn.
We currently do sometimes too. Yeah, most of the time. I shouldn't say sometimes.
Yeah, but our statues grew roots. Them motherfuckers wouldn't even move.
Well,
your statue can move a little bit.
Matt Ryan was ridiculous last year. Bless his soul. I would love to have Phillip Rivers year 2, 3, and 4 over Matt Ryan, what he did last year. That was crazy, bro. But what's your guys' keys to victory? Holy shit. Let's flip it back to you guys. What do you have to do to beat us in a tight 2-2-2-2 deadlock?
Yeah, so we're pretty much, I think we're all in agreement that although we don't know if it's going to happen the way we want it to, our only shot is to force Anthony Richardson to throw the ball as much as possible. I mean, he's a rookie. He's still getting his bearings together in the NFL. Our best shot at turnovers is making him uncomfortable. We've done an excellent job stopping the run. So if we can stop the run, force AR5 to throw as much as possible, that'll give us the best chance of winning a turnover battle. That's how you're going to force the most turnovers of any team, is making a team throw as often as possible. So I think Jarett would agree on that, but if you want to elaborate anymore, go right ahead.
I mean, we touched on it exactly. I mean, you took the words right out of my mouth on Tuesday. We have to keep him in the pocket, make him, try to run, but close the pocket on him and force him to throw the ball, because you guys are averaging 230 yards a game, even on on the ground. And even for us, we're letting up 70 yards rushing. So you guys have no problem. You're not going to rush on us. And I think we're going to contain him because Mike Vrabel and the defense, like I said, he has a good track record against mobile quarterbacks. So if we continue to try to force him to throw the ball, I think we win this game by, double digits, maybe a touchdown. We'll get into our predictions soon. But, like I said on our podcast too, your wide receivers don't scare me as much. I mean, I know you got Downs, you got Pierce, and you have Michael Pittman. Sean Murphy Bunting is rated 12th by PFF. I can't talk right now. Rated 12th best cornerback in the National Football League. He has really stepped up in recent weeks. Now, if you're going to attack us on offense, the person to attack right now is Christian Fulton, man, because he can't get out of his own way. He's got PIs all over the place, and I am not a big fan of him right now in his contract year. So the only person I would be afraid of right now besides AR on your team would be Woods, your tight end, and Mo Alley Cox, right? You have Woods?
Well, Woods has been out.
He's still on the IR. Oh, you're thinking of Ogletree.
You're thinking
the other big, tall, that's Drew Ogletree.
Yeah, so your tight ends, I think, are going to kind of have some days for us. I think we're going to lock down your wide receivers. So, I mean, you guys always had really good tight ends and tight end play against us. So, Mo Alley Cox is the only one.
Yeah, but the bad thing is we never really utilized them until this year. This year, I've seen more tight end action than I have all of Frank Reich's era.
Yeah, Mo Alley Cox seems to score a touchdown against us all the time.
I think one thing that you guys, you'll be watching the game. You have to really pay attention to our sets and the looks. They're very untraditional. We have never had this much motion and movement, and it's not just your typical send a receiver in motion and then send them right back. The way we're lining up is ridiculous. We had Josh Downs and Michael Pittman in the backfield and on one play. And I was like, what the fuck is this? With two tight ends I was like, what is this? And then everybody just split out and it was wow. So it'll be interesting to see the chess match of how you match those up. I mean, because you're kicking out linebackers who potentially going to split out and take Josh Downs out of the backfield. That's a win for us with a mobile quarterback, right? If everything, goes as planned. So again, I don't know if JT will be in the lineup, but definitely the next time we see you guys, he should be in the lineup. It'd be interesting to see what that looks like when we have him next to AR5, because that's what I like about Shane Steichen. Frank Reich, you knew his play calls. It's we had a play sheet. I'm like, oh shit, here we go. Here goes the screen pass. Yeah. Here goes a little fucking in route.
We called almost every play before they even sent the call in.
Yeah, but Shane Steichen is wild, man. So it's very creative because Vrabel is a great defensive coordinator. He gets that from Bill Belichick. There's no doubt about that, right? So I always like our matchups. But the key though, but it's in the trenches, because you guys have a crazy front. You know what I mean? We always go back and forth. Who's better, Defoe or your guy, right? Everybody who talks in trash groups is Defoe or damn, I can't slip in my name. What's your guys?
Jeffrey Simmons, D'Amico Autry.
Yeah. Yes, it's Simmons, Simmons or Defoe, and Simmons a monster right now. So yeah.
You wouldn't even say even if you do kind of contain the run a little bit. I know what do you guys average letting up the run 126 yards per game on defense. Even if you guys do contain us a little bit, which I don't see it. Do you see Ryan Tannehill having somewhat of a good day with your kind of weak secondary at the moment?
Yeah, and it's not even because of our secondary. It's not even because of our secondary. It's because of the play calling. The shit we were just talking about. It's fucking, bro. We're in a cover 3 with a whole bunch of cover 2 zone soft looks. It makes no fucking sense. I get it. Every I guess deep pass is a potential PI, but it's not every single one. So Gus Bradley wanted big corners that could press and run. So you have that. Let him play fucking man. Stop. Fuck. It's 3rd and 4, and you're sitting back 6 yards. That's a first down.
That. He's screaming all the time. All they got to do is run 6 yards and turn around.
So many first
downs. They run that 6 yards and have 10 more green right in front of them.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Every time. It's so stupid, dude.
So yeah, Tannehill will look great because he's gonna. I mean, this might be what's your tight end's name?
Chigakonkwo.
Yeah, he might have an amazing game because that little fucking middle area is gonna be wide open. So, and then your backs out the backfield, maybe not Derrick Henry, but maybe Tajay. Whoever's gonna like be in the flats, go ahead and mark him up for 8 yards of catch. It's gonna be fucking disgusting.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the easiest way to victory for the Indianapolis Colts is going to be to make Ryan Tannehill escape the pocket. Because although we saw last week him do a better job of kind of sensing pressure and kind of, adjusting to a collapsing pocket, he's still not even remotely close to the way he used to be for us. So if you can get him, tiptoeing in the pocket, he seems to have a real issue evading the hash marks, and that'll be your best bet. We're giving up, even with the better offensive line play, we're still averaging like 4 sacks a game. So, and I'm talking about giving up, of course. So we're probably averaging about 4 sacks for as well. But yeah, that's your best bet. Is just I'd sell out to force Tannehill and Henry to beat you, and that's really the bottom line. And I think that's what you're gonna see. So
I mean, the shitty part. I mean, isn't Quiddy still in concussion protocol? I think Quiddy is still in concussion protocol. So I mean, we were heating people up the first 3 weeks. Last week, I mean, we got to Matt here and there, but not like the first 3 weeks. So that was kind of like hard to see because I'm like, what the hell happened? I was literally just in Baltimore, and I was like, these dudes are out of their mind. And then last week, I'm like, shit, like Matt Stafford had all day to do whatever. He was even running around with his old ass with a bad hip. I was like, what the fuck are we doing today? Get him. Like, I don't know. So it's the inconsistency, man. Very, very much inconsistency because that defense was on a high. And then last week, I mean, we just got out to a slow start, but I commend them for fighting back. Shows resolve, but I mean, there's no moral victories.
That's literally the same problem with us on the offensive side, not really on the defensive side, because the defense can't, like Vinny says, you can't have a pitcher throw 7 innings, shutout innings, and the offense do shit. And that's what we do. Week 1 we didn't do anything. Week 2 we did. Week 3 we didn't do anything. Week 4 we did. So is it going to continue? Are we going to start to see the turn of the Titans offense starting to finally play consistent football and complementary football with the defense and special teams? Who knows? So I mean, that's our biggest problem on this podcast. Everyone has arguments on other podcasts, and Twitter obviously is live. I don't know how live it is for you guys all the time, but it's very, very live for us. And our judgment on the offense, because all we want is a stable, consistent offense.
Fact.
We're sick of the Todd Downing era after Arthur Smith left and went to the Falcons as a head coach. But Todd Downing really just threw this team right under the bus and just killed it. And our offense averaged like 15 points per game about 2 years in a row. I mean, with all that talent wasted on that team, any fan would be pissed. If you had that, you guys would be pissed too as well. I mean, that's like almost Peyton Manning's years just wasted. So I mean, I'm not saying Ryan Tannehill is Peyton Manning at all. I'm just saying the talent in general on that team. Yes,
he isn't Cooper Manning.
No.
So here's a question, because I be watching you, Sal. You be hot, man. You be hot on your Twitter. So what is it going to take? What kind of game does he have to have where they finally like, we've had enough, we're benching him, and one of the young guys is coming in?
I mean, yeah.
I thought he had that early in the season. I was like, damn, he was terrible.
Jarrett's already laughing because he knows where this ship's going. But listen, I said it once. I'll say it a million times. I'll make it brief this time because Jarrett's heard it enough times. I know what Ryan Tannehill's potential is. He has the potential to be really good, but the things you need in order for him to be really good is an excellent running game and borderline perfect protection. And at least in 2023, that's what you need. And unfortunately, those stars aren't going to align in January. At least multiple times that you're going to need it to make it to a Super Bowl. So he did an excellent job last week. He did an excellent job against the Chargers. But it's just there's too much inconsistency. Absolutely too much inconsistency. We see excellent regular season games. We haven't seen any excellent postseason games from him. It's just the bottom line. He can't take over a game. He can't. He never has. Derrick Henry can 1,000,000 times over, and we've seen it. But he's a Batman that only performs with Robin, and you can actually reverse that and say Henry is the Batman. But you guys know what I'm getting at here. But it is what it is. This is the last year with him. We're gonna ride it out, and then we got the future guys in the background waiting, and the future's bright, in my opinion. So we'll see.
Who takes it next year?
I think Jarett would agree, just based off of pure, totem pole and who's been here longer. It's going to be Malik's going to get the shot first. He might get a shorter leash because he's already had some time in the NFL already, but I still think they're going to throw him out there one last time. I don't know what you think, Jarett, but
no, I mean, as of now, Malik is the backup, and he seems to be the future. But Rand Carthon moved in here, and it's his team along with Mike's team now. And you don't jump up into the second round very early at 34, 33, wherever we got him, and the GM making a statement that fast saying, this is my guy, Will Levis, and we have to give him a shot. But they're going to battle it out, those two young guys. I mean, it's a good problem for us to have. If Malik wins, have at it. If Levis wins, have at it. Whoever wins and whoever puts W's in the win column for us, I can care less. So let them battle it out to the death, and that's it. That's the best for the team.
Respect. And here's the burning question. I mean, Derrick Henry's 29, right? And who knows how this season will play out, but what do you think? Is this the last ride? Is he about to become not necessarily AP bouncing back to back, but is he about to start getting the 1 year looks and get passed off to the next squad? What do you think?
I think, in all honesty, I think he's a very good boy. In my opinion, I think he stays because he wants that record, and Mike wants that record for him to be the all-time leading rusher, passing Eddie George. So I think they signed him to a 2-year contract. They're not going to give him nearly as many looks because Tajay is clearly the future running back and the prototype running back of the NFL for us right now. So I think they're definitely going to sign him. You need a 1-2 punch. Henry's not going to make the 12 like Sal thinks he's going to make the 12 to $13 million a year. I mean, he may be because he's advocating it for these young guys, but Henry's going to be 29 years old. He's not going to get that money, and he knows that we all know that he's a generational back. So for him to be playing with one team for his whole career and possibly be the leading rusher, I think that's my heart of hearts. I mean, I love Henry. He's hanging on my wall. Everyone's got his jersey. I love him. So I mean, I hope that's the case. Give him a 2-year deal.
Yeah. Bottom line is, though, I mean, it's all about the money for almost all of them.
And we have $94 million next year.
You can think and believe whatever you want, and as fans who honestly care more usually than the players do, but that's just life. We want to believe that they're going to take less money and they're going to retire with their team. But if another team has a bigger bag, at the end of the day, money talks, and these guys, weren't fans of this team before they showed up. So I personally think, I said it on your couch, Jarett, if Tajay Spears continues to, perform the way he's performing, you could very easily see at least Vrabel and Carthon just having a discussion about possibly seeing what they could get for him because he's 30.
Absolutely wouldn't do it.
I know you wouldn't do it, but the bottom line
they wouldn't do it either.
But the bottom line, again, and I love him just as much as you. I got as much stuff of his around me as you do. But what the bottom line is, he's going to be 30. It's clear as day this team still has a ton of holes to fill. If we want to really take the next step, we still need offensive line help. You could argue we still need wide receiver help. And you can't really invest, 10 million plus in running backs. No elite teams do.
No, you won't with him.
What?
You won't him at all, and you won't with him at all next year because we have $94 million next year.
I get it. No, I get it.
I mean, we can hit the offensive line. We can hit not running back, a wide receiver, and we can hit whatever else we need. Inside linebacker help. Even though Dr. Gibby is going to be, you guys are going to hear about Dr. Gibby on Sunday. So
Dr. Gibby.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player right now, undrafted free agent. And,
okay.
I think he's the 5th rated linebacker in the league by PFF too. So
I want to kick it to my boys up top before we get out of here, because we got to briefly touch on JT's presser. So I'll let you guys talk about it real quick. Costa, what did you think about JT's presser?
Oh man, it's iffy. Like, he was really. I mean, Pat pretty much hit on the head in our little group chat earlier. He's being like a politician. He's avoiding a lot of things. It reminded me a lot of Marshawn Lynch's interview when he was saying, you know, I'm only here so I don't get fined. But he was more like saying, I'm healthy. I'm ready to get back on the field, you know, like that positive stuff. But, I mean, he avoided a lot of things. And like you said, he's here. But I don't think he's here, if that makes sense. Only time will tell. I mean, right now, it's still just – I think things are still touchy. It seems like they're still touchy. I think he is glad to be back on the football field. You know, that is his passion, regardless of where he plays. But he did hit the nail on the head when he said, you know, he's just ready to get back on the field and play football and see where things go from there. So we'll see what happens. That's what I took from it.
Pat, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he definitely has a career in politicking if he wants it, because he sidestepped every one of those questions.
Every single one, bro.
You know, but it was good to see him smiling again. It was good to hear him talking about being back around the team back on the field, even though it was just a walkthrough. You know, you saw the smile back in his face, so that's a good sign. Now, where's it all going to go at the end of the year? Everybody's guess is as good as mine. Me personally, I don't see Ballard letting him go. Especially if he just comes out and runs 200 yards on the Titans tomorrow or Sunday.
That would be fucking nuts, actually. But
it'd be nuts.
It'd be
the first running back to do that in 11 games.
Don't do that, man. Don't get Pat started up. But no, like I felt the same energy, man. Like I was like a lot of our fan base, they were just happy to see him behind the mic and actually talking. But me, like I usually read between the lines and sometimes I overthink. But I'm like, bro, this is like the most scripted shit ever. Like, you know, like I stick to I'm healthy, stick to I want to play. Like you can't even commit to the organization. You couldn't even commit to the fans. Super weird. Like it was like some cringy. Like they was like, well, what can you tell the fans that supported you? He's like, well, you know, I've talked to some fans on the street. What kind of answer is that? Anyway, fuck it. So it is what it is. Like 28 is back. So we'll just have these next 12 games or so, whatever we got left with him, and hopefully have a great season because he'll get paid. If he comes out and gets 1,100 yards in 12 games or whatever we got left, he'll get paid. And that's just the bottom line, because running backs are hard to find, but that number now is super adjusted because we've talked about this. Every other running back that was in this condition has absolutely not performed or been hurt. Right. So the guild that they built over the summer, Jacobs, Chubb was kind of in there, but more so Eckler, Saquon, hurt out for the season, not really performing. Even Jacobs, he's the only one that's really playing, and he's not having a great season. So I'm like, you dudes are advocating for 15, 16, 17 million dollars and playing like, you know, shit, third stringers or not even playing. So yeah, I think that's going to be heavily adjusted no matter what he does.
I agree with Paul.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think Jonathan Taylor is probably on footballreference.com and looking at his last 5 games against the Titans and saying to himself,
maybe not this week.
Is they the one?
Maybe not this week.
I'll wait to go to Jacksonville next week and start my season off there.
Yeah.
You know? I don't want to start the season off averaging 0.15 yards a carry. So
that's my guy, man. I mess with Vinny, bro. Or Sal. I mean, Sal is wild, man. Like your Twitter be going nuts, bro. That. I love your conundrums that you be having. Bro.
He say Vinny. We got Vinny up there yet or no?
Nah, Vinny's halfway into a bottle of. Oh, there he is.
There he is. There he is. Look at that cool shoot down at the wedding.
Look at all that taco meat.
Yeah,
that looks like a poster for bad credit right there.
Yeah.
Bad credit.
Man, this dude looks like he has a coke addiction.
Yeah. Oh my god, what was that movie with Leo? They were selling the bad shit about Bedford. What's the name of that movie?
Blood Diamond?
No, not Blood Diamond. The one where they're on Wall Street. Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street. Yeah.
He looked like he was part of the crew. Bad stocks make a lot of money and do quaaludes. Right. All right, man. Let's do predictions, right?
Yeah. So
right,
I'll
you guys
start.
Are the visitors.
Yeah, I'll start off. Every time I've predicted Tennessee to lose, they win. So I'm projecting Tennessee to lose. Final score is going to be 23-10. And
Colts, right?
Colts. Richardson's going to have 462 yards passing with 3 touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. And that's it. That's my prediction.
That's beautiful.
Well,
Appreciate
that. Sal is literally the mush of the podcast. So whatever it is, it's the opposite of what we go with. So I'm going to go with 27-23 in a tight game because it's always a division game, and the Titans are victorious.
I love it. I have a couple 2-1 weeks, Jarett, and now I'm a fucking mush. That's fun.
No, I mean, you just said.
No, this is what's funny, though, because I'm the same. Like, every time I pick the Colts to win, we've lost. And these assholes up here be like, you picking the other team. So, absolutely, I'm picking the Titans.
We picked them last week. Me and Sal picked them to lose against the Bengals. It's just we need consistent offense. And now I've seen it. Now I think we're on that trajectory.
So, see, I did say last week, we should beat the Rams. We're looking better than them, and we lost. And we actually started playing like shit. So, this week, the Titans beat us in a close game. Okay, I'm going back to that, boys. We lose to the Titans again, 28-24. And
you can't reverse the reverse jinx there. Nice try, though.
No, man, no. This is facts, man. I'm telling you. I cannot pick a Colts win this year, so I'm definitely going with a loss. Hoping for the win. And put this out there too before they take their we haven't won at home in 7 games. Real shit. We're 0-8 in our last 8 home games.
I think Philip Rivers had 3 kids last time you guys won at home.
Yes. All right, man. You can stop with the jokes, all right, man. All right.
He finally got his football team.
You might want to hit that bullshit again.
Okay. All right, Acosta, where you at on this one, man? Pick right now.
I think I'm going to go with the Colts. I still think it's going to be a close game. It always is. I think it's going to be 23-17 Colts. Defense is going to show a big force in the end.
Oh, okay. Patrick?
I'm going Colts 27-24. It ends in a field goal.
Matt Gay, make his check.
Matt Gay earning that money.
All right, I'm with that.
But and we've always played each other extremely, extremely well. It's always been I can't remember a blowout game. So Sal, if you got those stats, throw them at me because just out of my recollection, I do not remember a blowout game from either side. We've
a lot of high scoring though.
Yeah, and I think this game's going to be high scoring too because of the weaknesses that each team has. I think our coaches are going to explore that.
Yeah, well, we'll see, man. Because shit, I don't know. I'm really tired of this, and I know divisions go in waves, right? And it's such a weird division because everybody talked about we had the worst division, but everybody's deadlocked at 2-2. But it's for years, the Colts were okay, we got Titans, we ain't even thinking about it, right? That was Andrew Luck era, and now it's every time we play the Titans, I get fucking hives. So I don't know, So it has definitely flipped.
Yeah, in our literally the last couple games has not been a blowout.
Yeah, it's been close, man. I mean,
last one was back in 2000. It was 45-26 us, then 25-16, 34-31, 24-17, and 19-10 the last couple of games. So
yeah,
it's a division game, man. Everybody knows each other. That's why I say stay away from betting division games, no matter what.
Right.
Stay away.
That man said 27-3. Who the hell is Mans? He had a pumpkin up there. That guy's out of his mind. Yeah, that guy, Alex Mans. Is that one of y'all homies? Jeez.
I don't know. He's
Titans fan. He's to the Bengals, so
I agree. I agree with Alex. If that's the case, I'm with it.
Oh yeah.
What? A bullshit.
Okay.
There you go.
A bullshit. All right, Sal, this is you, man. You taking us home or what?
Absolutely. So I'll say this for both of us. We're all playing for the same team at the end of the day for a sick podcast. So make sure Anvil Show as well as Talking Titans. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, comment. I already said that, but share the show with your friends. We can continue to grow each week, and any help you guys give us would be great. So with all that being said, we hope everyone enjoys the game coming up this week. It's going to be the first of many division games, and we're very excited. We're going to probably be on a couple times or at least another time this year, and we'll be excited to do that together. And that's about it. So absolutely. So hope everyone has a great night, great day, great week. And what's your guys' slogan?
Now,
ours, obviously.
That's the dumbest damn slogan I've ever heard.
What'd you say? I forgot. What?
But anyways, any Titan fans out there that's coming to the game, you're welcome to come tailgate with the Anvil crew.
We have to make our way down to Indianapolis one of these games. So the
tailgate is nuts, bro. We'll take care of you. Real shit. Yeah, it's all fun games, but the tailgate's for real. No,
the tailgate is something to be excited about. Absolutely, we have a lot of fun.
You guys are what for the shoe? Is that what you guys say?
That's what the organization says. We say bang that bitch because we hit the fucking anvil.
Well, I want to know though, Patrick. You said tighten up. You think's the dumbest slogan out there?
Yeah, it just reminds me of Brokeback Mountain.
I was getting ready to say
that's a lot. That's a lot. I mean, if I recall correctly, your kicker's last name is Gay, not ours. But anyway, moving on. Again, hope everyone has a great night.
Okay, my kicker can't do nothing about his damn name. That's the name he was born with. You guys came up with tighten up. Ooh, tighten up, guys.
Nobody was doing any tightening up in Brokeback Mountain. But anyway,
hey, tighten up the ass cheeks, boys. It's ass clapping time.
Oh, all right. On that note, we're definitely closing out. Sammy, get me the hell out of here now.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.